Hey, Alexis Love Beauties and Flawless Man. Welcome back to another podcast episode. We're going to have a raw and uncut conversation about the meaning of a lender and a borrower. I am a lender and not a borrower. We all want to be lenders. We all want to be able to have money to give away freely. We all want to be in position to just be higher, to be greater, especially financially. We never want to be a borrower. Like, we don't want debt. We don't want to be paying people back. It's draining, right? The true definition of a lender is, we have to learn about that in Jeremiah. When the Lord tear down, come on, Jesus. When he rips, when he shreds, when he overthrow your old life, your old identity, and he creates you new, he don't want you just giving everything to everybody. That defeats the purpose. He don't want you giving love to everybody. Now, hear me out. He don't want you giving love to everybody. He don't want you giving his blessings to everybody. He don't want you giving the money to everybody. He don't want you giving everything to everybody. The Lord wants to put, with wisdom, a limit on some things, because these are gifts from him. The reason why you're able to be a lender and someone else still may be a baller is because you've taken the time to do the work of God. You've taken the time to let him rebuild you. God wants to do that with each and every individual person. But see, the way we've been brought up, because we may have lived in the hood, is, all right, when I make it out, I'm going to get the hood out. When we make it out and we go back and get the whole hood out, what do we see happening? 80% of the time, maybe 90% of the time, I've seen the hood turn their back on them because their mental is not right. So the whole hood didn't take the time to get their mental right to be able to prepare to go to the new land. So the hood, you making it out, your mind has changed, your body has changed, your life has changed in the way that you think. So you have been exalted, come on, Jesus, to another level in life. And you're coming back to get people that haven't done the work. Everybody can't go. I had a dream about that one time, to where I invited some people to a dinner that didn't get an invitation, and they ruined the whole dinner before it even started. They was messing up stuff and everything. Everybody can't go. These people, every man and woman in this world, are responsible for themselves. This is the hard truth. We have to read Jeremiah. God is not going to be happy with us just giving everything out that he gave us, especially not his gifts. He wants us to be wise with these things. Like, God is a cheerful giver. He has an abundance. You know, when he blesses you, he wants you to bless other people, but he wants you to begin to ask him. When we're reading Jeremiah, we see that the reason why the Lord is upset, because nobody never asks him anything. We never asked him, can this person come into my house? We've been eating with people. We've been letting people into our homes, into our bodies that they don't qualify, queen. They don't qualify, king. So when God puts you on a level to where this is the only person that qualifies, these are the only people that qualify to be around you, we can't go back. This is why we can't go back. We're not leaving anything when we go back. See, the reason of Jesus is because we have that grace to where there may have been some times on my journey to where I went back, but because of Jesus, I didn't turn to a pillar of salt. But see, you don't have too many times to keep going back and keep going back, because you're not missing anything back there. The past is the past. It's not you go and get exalted and then you go. See, I think it's only going to be a few of us that catch what I'm saying. God wants us to protect what he blesses us with. Everybody is not mentally stable, mentally prepared to enjoy the fruits of your labor. And God wants that individual relationship with all of us. We all are supposed to be using our hands for work. We are all supposed to enjoy the fruit of our own labor. This is a individual task. I used to think that, okay, I'll just sit here and wait on a man, to take care of me or whatever. I have my own individual purpose. God told me identity theft when I sat here and I waited on a man. God doesn't want us giving. When you go to the bank and you ask them for money, they're not just giving you money. See, we have to be wise as a serpent. They're not just giving you money. They're not just going to give you a loan. They're not just going to give you a lend. They're going to say, what's your credit score? What do you need our money for? How you about to flip our money? When do you get paid so you can pay us back? And we're not really worried about you not paying us back because we're going to have interest. We can shut everything down. This is why we get all your personal information, because we can make it to where if you don't pay us this money, you will never be able to go forth in life. So it is wise to have the heart and the wisdom to say, I am a lender and not a borrower. I am a lender and not a borrower. But you have to pay your debts back first. We've been caught in a strong delusion, so we might owe some people. We have to pay them people back. And when you become a lender, you have to understand that you just can't give out. Now, the vengeance is the Lord, so we wouldn't have to necessarily go out there and rob people to pay somebody back, or we wouldn't necessarily have to go out there and try to figure out how we're going to get our money back. The Lord doesn't want, this is supposed to be effortless transactions. We're not supposed to be doing so much. So now when he gives us this, the power and the ability, the financial stability to be a lender, he wants us to protect that. Somebody calling you like, hey, Alexis, how you doing? I'm blessed. How are you? I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I'm just, man, going through it over here. You feel me? Like, just, you know what I'm saying? It's hard. I need some. I was just wondering if I can get $1 million from you. What's the investment? I'm going to have to look this over with my business partner. I'm going to have to say, and that's the last thing somebody want to hear. The last thing somebody want to hear. That's what the banks do. They say, I'm going to have to look this over with the financial advisor. We're going to have to send this information out. Give us 24 to 48 hours to get back to you, because we got to run your credit check. We have to run your spiritual check to make sure that I'm not giving this to an enemy. And if you get that loan and you don't pay them back, you go farther off into the hole. Now you're ready to give up the ghost because of bills. God wants us to guard what he gives us. To guard our hearts with all diligence, because only you know how hard that you worked to get these things. Everybody has to work hard. If it's same thing, if God just gives us everything, there will be no purpose for us to love him, no purpose for us to worship him, because he gave us everything. So nothing else would even matter. If it was all easy, it just wouldn't even matter. It wouldn't matter no more. Like, I got everything, so I don't need God. So he sets it up to where we need him. I encourage you to read, like, Jeremiah is one of those things. Jeremiah is one of those testimonies that I encourage. I'm finna get ready to put Jeremiah on the t-shirt. Just the word Jeremiah. Because it's just like, you learn so much in Jeremiah. You learn so much in Jeremiah. Like, to me, Jeremiah just wraps up everything. It wraps up what happens in the beginning and then what's about to happen in the end. Like, Jeremiah is like in the middle of everything. Very easy to understand in Jeremiah. Ask the Lord for understanding when you read Jeremiah. The one thing I do understand in Jeremiah is that I knew you before your mother's womb, before I put you in there, before you even came into the physical world. And I need you to go. And what's about to happen is you need to tear the people down. We're about to get ready to overthrow their old lives and create them new. But when this happened, God told us that when you cross over, you're not just finna be giving everybody everything. It's not just finna be any man. It's not just finna be any woman. It's not just finna be, I'm finna just be giving out money. To me, the definition and the understanding of I am a lender and not a borrower has went to a whole nother level. And this literally just happened today, this morning. Like, everybody has to get their riches from God. Because you just getting money from somebody or you just getting something from somebody is still not the capacity that God wants to give you. And if we just give, then they'll never find God. Like I said, don't get me wrong. We are supposed to give. If somebody come and ask you for bread, you don't supposed to tell them wait till tomorrow. You got a whole loaf in your refrigerator now. You're supposed to feed them. If your enemy are thirsty, you're supposed to give them drink. But we're still supposed to be wise as a serpent to know that I'm still supposed to commune with my Father and let him know everything that I'm doing, that I'm planning to do, that I want to do. And he teaches us in Jeremiah that when he clean you up, he don't want you going back and taking care of the whole hood. The whole hood ain't ready for that. The whole hood will mess everything up. The whole hood will be our downfall. Everybody has to find God their own way. Everybody has a different number, everything is different. And God just don't want us giving that out. What God wants us to give out is his word. Don't nobody want to hear that though. Don't nobody be wanting to hear that. Like, you don't give me the money or no. I ain't trying to talk about God. Like, I got real stuff going on. No, absolutely not. And it's going to come off selfish. It's going to come off you think you better than somebody. It's coming off as wisdom. But only a few people going to be able to understand that. Like I said, this message might even be everywhere, but only a few people going to be able to understand it. The definition of I am a lender and not a borrower. I encourage you to read the whole book of Jeremiah, chapters 1 through 52, and ask God for understanding. He doesn't want us giving out everything that he has rebuilt in us. He wants us to be cautious. That's why he was so upset, because we never asked. He wants you to ask him first. Is it okay for me to land here? Is it okay? And that's literal. That's literally what he says. So I encourage you all to take this wisdom back to God, and please, sometime in your life, read Jeremiah. It's going to hit so different when you ask for understanding. God don't want you giving out everything. He wants you for himself. God is a jealous God. He wants you to enjoy the fruit of your labor with the people that he wants you to enjoy the fruit of your labor with.